How do you see the scheme, sport, science and football rather, moving forward over the next few years in terms of expansion, graduate schemes, etc.?
Well, judging on what I've seen in the past, I mean, I did a talk for the conference about 4 or 5 years ago at Blackburn, upstairs above the Academy building at Blackburn. There was probably 40 people in there. And if you compare that with what you've got today, and you've got multiple presentations going on at the same time with several hundred people travelling from all over the country, I mean, if it goes like that, if it keeps going like that, you're going to have a massive enterprise on your hands within 2 or 3 years. It's good though, it's been impressive today.
You're involved with the PFA, so how would you say the players are taking to this new approach, science and football?
Well, players, I mean, most players now are much more scientifically aligned and savvy than I ever was as a player. I mean, now they understand it. I mean, they've been through, most players that are probably a scholar now or have been a scholar in the last 10 years understand that sports science is a fundamental part of what they do on a daily basis. You know, they're used to being tested physically, they're used to having a sports psychiatrist around, they're used to all those things now which we never had as players 15, 20, 25 years ago. So it's not alien to them, it's just an integral part of their everyday understanding of what a football club should run like. So they're into it. They don't know anything different. That's why they're into it. They don't understand anything different to that.
Maybe have you spoken to anyone, a player who's been abroad, and maybe have heard their comparison to how things are here and there?
In terms of sports science?
That's right.
I guess maybe they were slightly more advanced than us for a long time. I think we've caught up. I think the Premier League, the bench in the Premier League, and certainly the new reclassification of the academies will mean that sports science here is really at cutting edge. I mean, some European countries are nowhere near what we've got now. Others, I guess places like Germany have had sports science integrated for a while, so they've had no problems with it whatsoever. But I think we're sitting pretty well. I think we're in a good position with it, and so are the players, obviously.
Do you think this scheme, this organisation, is a good basis to start something that we need to be following?
Yeah, I don't see any reasons why not. I mean, it's the sort of thing which is quite niche, it's quite specific, so therefore it attracts a certain type of people. I'd quite like it to be integrated with lots of other things which go on within football as well, so it's not just seen as a scientific angle. You know, I'd really like it to be integrated more closely with not just the coaching side in terms of presentations, but practically as well. You know, so that people can understand that you're not going to just be struck by a scientist with a white coat. You're going to get a normal everyday coach who knows a lot about sports science in whatever field it might be. But I'd like to see that, and that's an opportunity I'm sure which John Goodman and the other lads are looking at the moment to make it a more sort of holistically an overall better programme for covering things which are practical as well as just presentations.